Hi everybody, this is Casey Wallace back here at the Portal to Ascension conference, and we are here with a super cool lady named Vox. And in case you can already feel the vibes coming through this transmission to you, she has an incredible energy to her as well as extraordinary talents. And so we're inviting you in to have a little virtual cup of tea with us as we get a sweet introduction with Vox. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you would please tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Oh my goodness. Well, my spiritual name is Vox Angelus. Born Phyllis Douglas, and Vox Angelus means voice of the angels, and so I have been surrounded by angels since I was a little girl, in all different circumstances and so forth, and then I just really started to walk with the angels as I got older, recognition of what our relationship was, what the connection was. I speak, what the angels like to say is my primary language, and my secondary language is English. So I speak an angelical Adamic language, which the angels state is the language of God. So I started to sing many years ago. I've always sung. I've always been, I'm a classically trained musician, but I was singing in choirs and things. But then the angels came to me one time when I was working with a client, and they said, you're going to sing to your client. And I was like, oh, so I just leaned down and said, apparently, I'm going to sing to you. And he's like, well, I'm down with that. That's fine. Whatever. So that's kind of when I started to use my voice, and the angels started to sing with me. Right. And so when I sing, I have an extraordinary range of octaves and so forth that really isn't like fully my voice. So I can sing very masculine tones as well as very high feminine tones. And so I channel encoded frequencies flow through my voice. And so that's how I get my primary message out to the world or audience or, event, workshop participants and so forth.
Wow. Yeah. And so this is a form of healing work as well.
It's a form of healing work, yes.
Okay. And
it's a form of healing work, but it is also for the spiritual awakening or ascension of humankind. And so when I sing and those frequencies affect the body on a cellular level, it's an alchemical type of transmission. So it helps to release karma, it helps to kind of break through blocks that people have or the negative patterns and those narratives that people have and the old stories and all of that. So it's really to help people to expand in their spiritual awareness and the truth of who they are.
Wow. Yeah. I love that.
And I'm a massage therapist and a yoga teacher as well.
Well, it's all the same energy as far as we know where that lies. All the intuitive gifts that continue to unleash themselves. Yeah. So how long has it been that you've been doing this?
Well, since they just reminded me because since I was a little girl, things have started to come back from childhood, and I was like, well, I just started to speak this language. I don't know, it was 6 years ago or so,
right?
8 years ago. And they're like, no. And I was asking my sister, and she was saying, no, when you were little, you used to speak, we just called it this gobbledygook, whatever that word is, this language that we didn't recognize, and we just thought, you were just playing. But they're saying, no, you were talking to us, but I don't even have any remembrance of actually speaking with someone in those times that happened.
Wow.
And so a lot of times when I had times in my life that were a little sticky or
that's
challenged.
trans-channeling, which is what I do with Julia. So you go out of your own conscious time and space. So as a child, I would support that you were trans-channeling during those times, and more than likely do that when you're doing this now, which is why you wouldn't really have recollection unless somebody's sitting there recording it.
Well, it's interesting because it had started out because I've channeled different beings. With the angels, I'm totally present.
Okay.
Feel the angels around me because I can feel when they come in. And they say now it's not. They don't like the word channeling, but now they say it's like with the iPhone, and they use the iPhone when you can tap and exchange information. That's kind of what they're saying. It's like it's almost telepathic. But I just open up and I can feel that flow and that connection. So I'm here, but I'm elsewhere as well. kind of between two worlds at that time. Yeah.
Well, and consciously aware of it, because most people just aren't aware of all that they are and all the expansiveness that they are, and they get fragments, of that. How has this been received for you in your family and in your personal lives?
Well, my husband's not on the spiritual thing, but he's very supportive. The rest of my family, my sister's a little bit intuitive, but it's kind of like I'm really pretty much on my own, but people respect what I do and they're very supportive.
Nice.
And I think that's a really good thing. Yeah. A lot of people don't even have that. So.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
And I mean, it took people a little while. I mean, now, and they always say, what I'm doing is a little bit different, but there's a lot of people that speak light language now. You hear that a lot. And I'm like, no, this is different. So there's different levels that you can kind of tap into for light language. And they're like, we always want you to remember, they call this the angelical Adamic language. And they say it's the language of God. It's the vibration, the way of speaking, how they voiced things in Eden. And it's hard to separate myself from that, but I just say that.
That's cool.
Wow. Yeah. So then I got to the point where I actually speak. I can write the language. I can translate the language. I can read it vibrationally. And I can also sign sometimes when I get in flows of energy, because I also see symbols now. So I can see what they call the constructs of the material world. So like when I look at you or I look at things, if I really look, I start to see all these symbols and so forth that are more like mathematical equations and the vibration, which makes it the vibratory pattern of what that thing is. If that makes sense. So I work with the symbology as well. Yeah.
And where can people find you? Where can they see you, Vox? Do your work? Can they have sessions with you? How does that work?
My website is my name, my real name right now, Phyllis, Phyllis, and then Douglas with two S's, DOUGLASS.com.
Wow. It is so.
And so I see people in my office up in Claremont, California, and then I also see people online.
I grew up in Claremont.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Wow.
I did. Where's your office?
It's at a place now, it's fairly new, it's only 2 years old. It's called Feeling Groovy Wellness and Cafe.
Fabulous.
And I used to have my own center, but now I just rent a room there.
It's lovely to meet you.
It was lovely meeting you, too.
Thank you for spending time with us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Catch a glimpse of this extraordinary woman. We want to invite you to stay tuned with us as we continue our interviews in the Portal of Ascension Conference. If you are seeing this transmission live or uploaded live before this weekend is over, you can come and meet everybody here at the Atrium Hotel in Irvine, California. We'll be back with you shortly.